Hey guys, so I just want to start off by saying right now I'm feeling like embarrassed to be a Canadian. The fact that the things that have gone on for me over the last, I guess, 8 years or so, um, I'm embarrassed of the way that things are running in this country, and I don't even know where to start. So right now I was trying to get a request through Freedom of Information um, from the RCMP because I'm suing one of the police departments right now because they did a whole bunch of things wrong. I was basically assaulted. I got pulled over. I can go into all this stuff. I'm going to go into all of this stuff over the next little while. But for right now, what I'm really frustrated and finding to be, um, I don't even know what the word is. I guess just embarrassing. It's embarrassing that there are organizations and agencies that are functioning in this way. Um, they you can't reach somebody. You can't reach a person with the access to access to information and privacy branch. You can't even get a hold of a person. So the answering machine doesn't take messages. The commissioner that looks after the civilian complaints for the RCMP, uh, they are not taking phone calls. So I have emailed, excuse me, the person who sent my, or who the person I was supposed to email regarding my request that I got just a response from the other day. I sent it in almost 3 months ago. So they asked for an extra 30-day extension, which I know wasn't necessary because all I was requesting was logs of any inquiries of or any queries of my name in the databases that they use. So it's a very simple search. You put in your parameters like your date. There's no other people involved in this. It would just be information on the officers who searched up my name, when the dates and the times were for those queries of my name in the databases. Um, so 3 months, almost 3 months after, and I've sent multiple emails saying this is required for a court case. When am I going to be receiving this? Well, I finally received a response just last week, and they cannot confirm nor deny if this information exists. And even if it did, they're not going to provide it to me because of um, section 22 1B, I think, which 22 or 25. Anyways, I should have had my papers all here, but it basically states that there's another person who is involved, or somebody else's privacy is going to be affected or breached or something like that. And um, the reason is not even like, it's not something that they could use for this situation because what I'm asking for doesn't involve anybody else. It simply involves the police officers who are public servants, I guess you would call them, in the public servant sector or whatever it's called. So they are when they are working, they are. I mean, you can record them. It's they are part of the public. They are serving and protecting the public. So what they're doing is not fall under any kind of privacy. Whatever. And I mean, all I'm looking for is who searched up my name and when, because I've had, I got this information from the two city police departments, or municipal, whatever, and they were searching up my name, like within a 5-day period. There was like 9 or 11 different police officers searching up my name, a total of like 30 times for no reason. Like this is not in relation to any police matter or anything. So basically they were like stalking me. I'm not sure why. this whole thing started quite a while ago, like 8 years ago, I guess. Um, I was in a relationship that, I kind of got. Uh, he threatened to kill me if I ever left him, like within the first couple of weeks of being with him, and I believed him. So yeah, I was kind of trapped in this relationship, and it was awful. It was very toxic, and that's another whole another story. But so I wasn't doing anything. I don't have a criminal record. I still don't. But he has some problems with using drugs, and and so that involves like a criminal element, I guess. And it just kind of all ties in together. He doesn't have any like violent crimes or anything like that. But anyways, so the police just all of a sudden decided for some reason that they were going to harass me, pull me over multiple times a day, charge me with things that I didn't do, lie in police reports. And so while this was all going on, and I'm in this like abusive relationship with a narcissistic heroin addict. Um, so I'm not like I'm on like hyper aware mode all the time, like just trying to make sure that I'm safe, and my stuff is not going out the door all the time. Like um it was like, so I was like, I don't know what I was functioning on, but it wasn't like the normal kind of like way that people live their lives. Like I was in this like state of fight or flight, like basically for 4 years or something. um and I was constantly trying to like think everything through, and what are the possibilities, and what could happen, and like, and even if I thought those all through, there was always going to be a curveball, and with him there always was. And um he anyways, that again, that's a whole nother story. um a whole probably 2 or 3 videos or more, but I'm not going to try to, I'm going to try not to make this one too long, so, and stay on topic. But so I was basically essentially being harassed by the police. They would I got charged. I spent a night in jail, because I called 911 because my now ex, obviously, but he was threatening to punch me out or something if I didn't let him steal something. And then he was trying to threaten dumping a can of paint on my floor, but the lid wasn't on tight, so it dumped all over my floor. And so I just was like, that was it. And I was like, get out now. And he wouldn't, and he was just like threatening me and stuff. So I called the police, and he took off then before they got there, and I waited out front for them. And when I got there, or when they got there, sorry, they told me that I was under arrest for assault. So he had told them that, and I did. I punched him in like a side punch when I was driving, like 2 days before, the day before, because he made some comment about threatening to get my kids taken away, who at the time were not young, but they were staying with my parents. Obviously, it was not a safe environment for them, and I didn't know. I didn't know how I could get out of this relationship safely, so I needed to make sure that that was okay before. Anyways, so he was threatening. He made some comment about me never seeing my kids again, and so I punched him. Like, obviously. So there's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think he deserved it. So I would do it again. And, I mean, so anyways, I was under arrest, and so I went to jail, and I ended up, um, I think I had to spend the night there. But, like, he made up this story that he was like, just got off work from A&W. He never worked. Like, so, and something to do with, he said I punched him like that day, and it was like 2 days before, and I told the officer that. And so then I got a second charge of assault. So I mean, the whole situation was like, first of all, how incompetent are these police officers who don't understand and see the situation for what it is. He's a known drug user to them. I was living with my kids. I had a job. I had a vehicle. Everything was great before I met him. And then slowly that all started to change once he had came into my life and started doing what he does, I guess. So right there, I couldn't believe it. Like the fact that I was going to jail for assault, 2 counts of assault, was unreal. And so that again, there's a bunch of these kind of situations, but more recently in April of last year, April of 23, I was doing a delivery shift with Skip the Dishes, and I decided it was slow. I was going to go home. It was Easter weekend, so I was just going to pick something up for supper and go home. My kids are now like over 17, 21 and 23. So this was just like last year. So what my middle son, like my older son, he's my middle child. He doesn't live with me. He lives with his girlfriend right now. So it's like they're adults essentially. They're all adults, but so I was on my way home, and I made a right turn off of the street, and I saw the officer. He was waiting at a red light to turn left, and I was turning right where he was. Now, I just have, because it was such a long period where they would see me and literally like pull a U-turn and put their lights on, and it was like for nothing. Like literally there was not a single time that I got pulled over that I was actually doing something that was valid reason for them to pull me over. So I saw this officer, and he was with the road safety unit, whatever. So I thought, well, yeah, I'm probably gonna get pulled over, like, because that's just what happened for the 4 years before that, or 5 or whatever. And so I just kept driving, and I thought, well, maybe it's okay. And then next thing I know, he's right behind me, and I'm like, oh, he just totally turned right around and came up behind me. So then turns his lights on, of course. So I'm like, like, I used some different language when I was actually when it happened. And I turned right and pulled off, like off the main kind of street that I was on, and I pulled over, and he took like a minute or something, took his time walking up to my car. And so first thing I always say is like, so hi, what are you pulling me over for? Like, what did I do? Can you just tell me that? And so and now I have some of my dash cam footage, and since this court case has been started, I actually have the police dash cam footage now, but my dash cam was, a whole bunch of stuff from my dash cam was deleted. I also don't have the unedited police dash cam videos. I have no date stamp or time stamp on them, and their representative, she will not seem or they will not seem to give it to me. So I'm having a hard time getting that. So anyways, he said something along the lines, and it is similar with his police report, was that he noticed when I was driving toward him, he saw my window was tinted. My front window was very barely, like slight tint. And he said, so I ran your plate to see if your car was supposed to be black. And I was like, didn't think about this until after, when I was transcribing all the dash cam footage to text, so I could like read through it and stuff. And then so I was like, that was weird wording. And so I said, yeah, we talked to the insurance agents. They said just to wait till we buy the car out when the lease is up. And he said, no, that's not the case. You have to change it right now. And I'm like, okay, well, like nothing I can do. It's like 9:00 at night on like I don't know what day of the week it was. But anyways, so I just said, okay. And so he took my stuff, and he asked me for some stuff, anything to drink. No, I was just on my way home. I was delivering, but it was slow. And so talked about the tint on my window a bit, and like how it was like not safe, it didn't brake properly. And again, I have another story related to that, which kind of throws this whole story off. But he said, oh, we're looking out for the safety, you need to be able to make eye contact and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, again, I got another story for that one too. But So I just said, okay, well, I guess, if it's like an issue of safety for me, then like I guess that's my issue, right? Like I'm not worried. Like I've in all the years I've been driving, I've never had a car window break on me while I was driving. So I just was like, well, if that's the issue, then I'm not concerned, and I think it's mainly my issue, right? So, anyways, he didn't like that answer, and he basically told me that he was gonna write an order to remove it, or I was gonna get charged $600. And I said, fine, do what you got to do. And so he went back to his car, and he stayed there for a while. Like it was a long time. I was like, okay, what's going on? By the time he came back to my car, and when I reviewed this all on dash cam footage, it was almost 20 minutes from the original time he pulled me over to when he came back after doing all the tickets, like all the tickets. Like we're talking like, whatever. My license plate had some acetone had spilt on it when I was painting my car and got some of the reflective stuff on. So he considered that and called it an obstructed plate, even though I painted the paint back because it didn't reflect, it was obstructed. So he couldn't run my plate in that machine. It wouldn't come up properly, I guess, the one that scans and like reads all the plates in front of you. So anyways, yeah. So then he goes, well, I'm going to give you all these, but first you have to take a breathalyzer. And I was like, whoa, like I've been doing this long enough now. I know my rights. And, you pulled me over for a traffic violation. It's been 20 minutes. I've been sitting here. You have no reason to suspect I'm drinking. I've told you I'm not. That's arbitrary. And I don't have to, I don't have to give you one. And he was like, no, I'm demanding you to give me a breath sample. And I said, I want to speak to a lawyer. I want to speak to your supervisor. He said, step out of the car. He kept saying, get out. You need to provide this. And I said, and then he started saying I was under arrest for not providing, failure to provide. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not getting out of my car. And sure, that's probably not the best way to handle that. But I've been doing this with these guys for so long, and like they're bullies is what they are. They're bullies, and they'll get away with whatever they can. And so I knew my rights. I know my rights, and I know that I could not be. First of all, he had. Too much time had gone by for him to demand a breath sample 20 minutes after pulling me over for a traffic violation. There's a whole bunch of other things that went wrong in this whole thing, but so I was like, no, I'm not getting out of my car. I'm not under arrest. I mean, realistically, he couldn't even detain me at that point, but I didn't push that one. So I went to lock my door is what I went to do because I thought, oh no. And I realized because I put it in park that the door wasn't locked. So I went to lock my door. He grabbed my door open and grabbed my arm and started like bending it behind my back like super hard, like it hurt. And I was like, let go of my arm. Like I'm not getting out of my car. And I started freaking out at that point because I've had enough interactions with the police when I wasn't doing anything wrong. They've tried to negatively impact or affect my life so many times through lies and false information and and so I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. And I've never been doing anything wrong. I don't have a criminal record. I don't do crime. So they've shown no regard for me, my safety, my family. They've shown zero regard for me. So of course I don't trust them, and I have every reason not to. So I start freaking out at this point in time. He's got my arm bent behind my back, and I start like, honestly, I start thinking like I'm never gonna see my kids again. Like this is what I started thinking. I did not want to get out of my car because I thought if I did, I wasn't gonna see my kids again. And that is because of what I've seen, what I've heard, what's happened to me, and what has happened to other people that I've interacted with over the last 8 years or whatever, right? So very valid reasons for how I feel. I've heard a lot of really like horrible stories and stuff, and I've known people who have had awful things happen to them for no justifiable reason. And I so at this point I'm thinking like, oh my god, like this is they're gonna kill me, like, or something, right? Like I was getting really scared, and of course my mind just starts going, and I'm thinking like, I can't get out of my car, I can't, or this is it. So he starts saying, I've got help coming. He's radioing. He's saying I've got help coming. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not getting out of my car. And I'm like, and he's like, you're under arrest. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, fine, I'll give you the breath sample. And he's like, it's too late. You're under arrest. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm just panicking at this moment. Like my like instincts is going to like, how am I going to stay alive? Like what, like this whole thing was so there was so many things already done wrong that I thought, this is like, you know, he was saying keep your hands where you can see them, and I was like, I'm not putting my hands anywhere. Like he's like, yes you did, you reached for something. I said, no I didn't. I'm like, I wasn't. So I was going, oh my God, this is where they say she was reaching for something, we thought it was a weapon, and you know, I get shot. Like this has happened before. This happens to people. And I mean, like my survival instincts are kicking in, and I'm just like, what do I do? Because I'm definitely not gonna get away from this situation the way that I got into it. Like I'm not gonna drive away. I know this at this point, right? So two other cops pull up with lights and sirens on, like race up, and they run over. And at this point I'm just like, listen, I would have got out the vehicle if I wasn't feeling like you know, so scared and terrified, and like, you know, this guy's breaking my arm behind my back and I haven't done anything wrong except for stand up for myself, right? So they like push me into my car, and they get my hands behind my back and bring me over to the front of the police car. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you guys? Like I didn't do anything. Like I was screaming, right, like louder at them. And they're just like, just settle down, you're under arrest. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, how can I be under arrest? So they pat me down, and again, I'm a woman. It's like 9:00, 9:30 at night, and I've got three male cops basically you know, patting me down, getting me in handcuffs, and like they were not concerned for how I was like truly, like genuinely fearing for my life. Like I was so scared, I was so terrified. They didn't care. The look in his eyes as he's bending my arm behind my back and I'm telling him it hurts to stop, he didn't care. Didn't care. I had not done anything wrong. So puts me in the back of the cop car in handcuffs. At this point, he reads me my rights. Yeah. So I was already in handcuffs in the back of the cop car when he read me my rights. So, you know, I'm just like, do you know what arbitrary detention is? And, you know, like, do you know what that means? Yeah, of course I do. I went to the police academy. Well, maybe you should go again, or pay better attention or something. Like, do some research. This is an arbitrary detention. And I'm like, and I'm going to sue you. So, you know, he ended up giving me a 90-day IRP, immediate roadside prohibition, towed my car, impounded it for a month, and give me a criminal charge, which they can't do. They can only do one or the other, but he tried to give me criminal charge as well. And then the fines for my license plate and the tinted windows. And I thought, you know what, this is like, of course the fact that I got out of that cop car and I walked away was like, I had bruises on my arms. I had some from the handcuffs, my I have really bad carpal tunnel syndrome, and like my hands were all numb, and I was just like, I can't feel my hands, and like I was in handcuffs in the back of the cop car for probably close to an hour, and then he let me go, and my car got towed. I mean, it was terrifying. It was traumatizing. I was traumatized from that. And I didn't do anything wrong, and I don't anything that I did do, I was doing because I was scared. I didn't want to get out of my car because I was scared. And I didn't think I should have had to get out of my car. First of all, he had no grounds for asking me for a breathalyzer. Second of all, I should have got to speak to a lawyer. I didn't. He didn't even read me my rights or tell me what that I was potentially going to be getting charged. And you know, like, so there was a whole bunch of stuff done wrong. Anyways, more was done wrong once I got a lawyer for this one to get my IRP, to deal with the IRP, and the superintendent of motor vehicles revoked it. Said that they found that he didn't make a valid ASD demand, which he didn't. They reimbursed me all my fees. I mean, my car was impounded and my license was taken away for a month, which sucked because I've had it taken away for reasons that I shouldn't have before. And, you know, I'm still dealing with that now. So, to have my vehicle taken away again for a month when it shouldn't have been is like, that's a month that I can't work. That's a month that I have no independence, that I have to like try and find rides, be vulnerable. Like I'm scared when I'm out there, like without, like I'm not scared. I don't, I used to be really, really scared. Like I used to, like it used to terrify me to be, um, especially because of the relationship that I was in. I would have to cross the street if a man was walking down the street towards me on the same side of the road. Like I have PTSD, from all so many different things that's all like compounded, and so it's not as bad anymore, but like it's still pretty bad. Like I still got assessed a couple weeks ago, and I'm still like 3.4 out of 4, which is like very high, but it's like way better than it used to be. So I can't drive by myself at night, like since this last incident. I anytime headlights come up behind me, I start panicking, and like I can't breathe, and I don't know what to do. Like I start like freaking out and stuff. And again, there's a whole bunch of reasons for that too, which I'll get into. But I got my money back, reimbursed from the superintendent of motor vehicles, got my license back after a month, got my car back. Now I had paid my the impound fees 2 days after my car was in there, because I needed my dash cam. First thing I thought was, I need my dash cam. Well, I had to pay the full amount to get my dash cam, so I did that. And then I went watching my dash cam and realized a whole bunch of stuff had been deleted from my dash cam footage, all the important stuff, where he didn't read me my rights, didn't tell me all, like all of this was deleted. So at that point I didn't know who had deleted it. There was also a clip in there from the tow truck company, the guy making fun of my car, the fact I had no gas or something. And so I sent that to the tow company, saying maybe teach your employees about being more professional, because people do have dash cams, and like I don't know who deleted my dash cam footage, but if it was your employees, this could be potentially evidence in a court case down the road. And like tampering with evidence is like a criminal charge. So so I don't know if they did or who did, but somebody, from the time it got towed to the time I got my dash cams, somebody deleted a bunch of stuff. And I tried taking it to like a computer techie guy, and like there was no way to recover it. Like they had rewritten over it somehow. I don't know how. He said they knew what they were doing, so they rewrote over top of it, which meant that it was never gonna, I could never access that stuff. So anyways, now I'm suing so it's kind of confusing. He's a municipal police officer, works for a municipal police department, but he's working under the RCMP with one of their road safety divisions. So it's been very confusing, because first of all, I can't get a lawyer. No lawyer will help me with this. As soon as they find out it's the police, they're like, sorry, they don't get back to me. I don't know if it's like they've been told not to, or if they're scared, or regardless, I've had to basically be doing this all on my own after being harassed and bullied, and basically having them try to destroy my life is basically what they've done for the last 8 years. Like, I mean, I haven't had any incidents since this one, but probably because I have been, this one's gone to court, right? And they see that I'm actually not going to just sit back and allow them to continue bullying me. So what was I saying there? So this one now, with the RCMP, so it's been kind of tricky, because I'm suing the municipality that the police department is in, and the police department, which is, I believe, hopefully what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know. I tried researching. It's very hard to find research, things that tell you how to do this, how to sue the police. There's not a lot of literature out there that helps you do this, because they want lawyers to have jobs, right? So lawyers need to make money. So why are they going to tell you how to not have a lawyer? Because then your money's not going out the door like that. So so far it's been a learning curve. Like I'm learning a lot. I don't know things are going to go as I hoped, but really all I'm trying to do is make a point. Like I really, first of all, I want to show other people that this is something that other people should be doing as well. Um, and I encourage people to do this because it's getting so bad. It's so bad. And if people, the only way to bring this to the attention of the public or to anyone else, like to put it out there, like the only way to do it is to sue them, unfortunately, because um, like I just recently saw actually surprisingly a bunch of charges excuse me for different, this is all over like the last 2 to 3 years, but that the charges have been approved on there was about 8 different cases of different officers within BC, like all over over a 2 or 3 year period, and that to me is like that's a step in the right direction, but it's a very small step because charges being approved and actually having them found guilty is completely two different things. And I think even if the charges are approved by Crown, the chances of the officer being found guilty is next to none. Like they're not gonna unless it's like first of all, you got to have a lot of media coverage, which is I can't even get the media to help bring this out to the attention of the public, so I'm having to try and do it myself in addition to representing myself. So so it's been hard. But the lawyer of the defendant is constantly in communications strongly urging me to get legal representation. And she's not, I say she, I shouldn't even be saying she because there are a fair bit of women lawyers, but there's not that many. So anyways, doesn't matter. I'm not going to say names. I'm not giving away any kind of identity here. So anyways, they are strongly urging me to get legal representation. I think so. So why? That's not gonna. You don't want me to do something that's gonna help me. So you want me to do something what? So I can get screwed, basically. So I pay somebody to go make a deal behind my back so that the cop gets off. I mean, it's obvious, So no, I know how that's going to work, and I'm not wasting my money I don't have on a lawyer that's going to basically let this cop get off, and I lose. I'm going to lose is what it is. So no, it's not going to happen. So yeah, like it's been really hard. It's like a lot. I kind of every once in a while I kind of get like start thinking about it, and I start thinking like, my parents are like, well, just be careful. They're gonna try and come after you now. I said, well, that would be really stupid. Like if you look at it logically, like I've got a lawsuit. If they came and did anything like right now, it's obvious, and then it's gonna be, I mean, that's after the fact, but like if they're really gonna do something that extreme to try and cover up their misconduct, I mean, karma's going to get them, first of all. I mean, I really don't think they would jump to the extreme of ending my life to try and get out of this, because that nothing really is going to happen. It's going to be a slap on the wrist, and even if I do win this small claims court, the money is not coming out of his pocket. It's going to come out of the pot, right? Like, so then they go get some more speeding ticket, pull some more people over for speeding or do whatever, and the money goes back into the pot. So, I mean, it's not rocket science, and it's not really affecting him directly. He's not going to be held accountable. He's got a lawyer doing the work, and it's not even him that I can take to court. So his employer is not gonna, they're not gonna do anything. So it's like a joke. The whole thing is a joke. But I mean, I have to do it because I have to. I have to like follow through with it because for a whole bunch of reasons. Because I need people to be motivated to do the same thing. You know, like in the States, cops don't do this kind of stuff because people get their cameras out right away. They know their rights. They're being taught their rights in school. We don't know our rights in Canada. Like, why are we not aware of our rights at a young age? Like, why are the schools not teaching this to us? Why? Because, well, it's easier to take them away if we don't know what they are, right? And I'll give credit to a Tom McDonald's song for that exact phrase there. That when I heard it, I was like, oh, exactly, like it clicked. So I'm a big fan of his. I think his music speaks the truth in like the in volumes. Like it's very real, and it's very relatable, and so yeah. Anyways, just had to say that because I didn't come up with that exact phrase myself. So I heard it the first time in one of his songs, but I mean it's true, and so we need to start knowing our rights, teaching our kids their rights, and standing up for ourselves. See, all this started because I was standing up for my rights. I was standing up for myself. I was not letting them bully me, and they didn't like that. So that's what started it all. And then it feels like a high school thing, right? Like, well, we're gonna get you, and oh yeah, watch. It's abuse of power and authority, huge. And there's been other agencies involved in this. This city is so corrupt. It's like people don't realize how corrupt this city is, and I've seen it like firsthand. Every single agency and it's like I see through it. Like I see through this whole ICBC like put through a claim. Some girl threw herself into my car, said I hit her, and told me she was fine. Said her husband was over there. He let her run across 2 lanes in the dark in the rain to get in front of my car, supposedly. But she ended up beside my door, and I was stopped at a red light, slowly going to turn right. And so I was angled to the right. She came running from that side. Her husband let her run across in the dark in the rain. She didn't make eye contact with me. Runs across and then hits the side of my car, or I hit her, supposedly. But she ends up beside my door. So think about that. And I try to explain this to people at ICBC. I said, let me know if this claim is even going to be considered to go through, because I want to go to court with it. I want to defend myself. I want the cameras from this intersection. I will show you that this is insurance fraud. So no, they went and approved it. I didn't even find out till a couple of years later. I never heard anything. I didn't think it went through. No, they went through. $2,500 on my insurance this girl got. So anyways, that's just another one of my stories. But I'm still trying to deal with that now, because I don't like the fact that somebody did that and that it's on my insurance and it's not affecting it, but I don't care because I didn't hit her. And simple physics and situation, the fact that the guy that was on the corner was a witness, and I looked up his Facebook, and it's not her husband. He's got another anyways, they were complete strangers is what I'm trying to say. This was not her husband. She told me she was fine. She said, no, just go. So I didn't know. I was in the middle of an intersection. I thought, okay, I'll just go. She seems fine. So then she went after and told them that she was injured, that I did a hit and run. I left the scene of an accident, and I was almost facing criminal charges for this. So people are really like twisted. People are really twisted. And I can't imagine doing that to somebody. Like that could have been criminal charges. Could have been my license gone for, who knows, 2 years maybe. I don't know, a year or 2 years. That could have destroyed me and my life and my family's life. For her to get $2,500. I mean, it's sick. Like what is wrong with humans that people would do that? Somebody would even consider that. Like, you could offer me $1 million and I wouldn't do something like that. I 100% would not do it. I'd rather be broke and know that I'm not doing something terrible like that to destroy somebody's life for money. No amount of money in this world is worth me having that feeling hovering over me for the rest of my life. I mean, karma will come to each and every single one of these people. I'm not worried about it. Sure, I would like to help speed it along if I could, but I don't take karma into my own hands. If there's a way to do it, like where I'm suing, I'm suing a few people right now. So, anyways, I used to joke about this, and it's just so funny that it's like happened this way. But people need to get sued sometimes. Like, people need wake up calls that they can't do the things that they're doing. Like, I had we moved into a new place. January 1st. Anyways, this is a whole nother video or two, but I'm just gonna kind of say that it was so the place was disgusting. They rushed us through the day that we got there to do. The kids were waiting in the car. We felt all bad. Oh, go be with your kids. We didn't do an inspection. There was nothing written down. We didn't go through. He was like trying to distract me, getting all annoyed when I asked how to work the thermostat and stuff. Like, really, I felt like I was imposing on them to ask anything, and we were moving into this place. So anyways, the place was disgusting. Nothing had been cleaned. The washer had this like slime in it. It was making our clothes stink. We ended up finding black mold. The whole ceiling in the kitchen needed to be ripped up, and like floor in the bathroom. The oven took me 4 hours just to scrub the top of it. The inside was 10 times worse. Grease all over the walls in the kitchen. Like, I don't know who was living here, what they were cooking, but it was disgusting. Floors were sticky. The carpets, I've steam cleaned them 4 times to get the water to not be black. We had no keys for the doors. There was a code thing on the front door, but it didn't work most of the time. And then there were 2 other locks, deadbolts. The key we had no key to, so somebody might have had a key to them, but we didn't. They had their ring on the front door that they were still connected to. So I took it down. They had a security system in the house they were still connected to, so they could be watching us inside too. The whole thing was creepy. So no keys, no like, and so then our washing machine was making our clothes stink. The carpets were disgusting. The place had like wind coming through the windows. Like there was holes in the front door, like air was coming right through, like you could see to the outside where somebody had drilled to try and put a deadbolt there, but it was a window frame like beside the door, so definitely not something you're gonna hook a deadbolt to. So obviously they didn't know what they were doing, but the holes they just left there. So anyways, I'm now currently suing them because of all that. I mean, I asked for permission. I put a closet organizer in the closet. They're trying to counterclaim and say that I did that without their permission. They had to dispose of it all and take it out. Why would you take a closet organizer out? It was a really nice closet organizer too. I did a good job doing it. It was all really nicely done. They didn't take it out. They're just trying to say, and they're trying to say, my dog got hair so much into the carpets everywhere in the month that we were there, and he was only on the main floor where there's no carpet. So they're trying to lie now and say all this stuff. They want to try and claim daycare expenses when their kids are in school for court. What court? What travel expenses? Come on. Like, I tried to tell them, like, you can't do this. You can't lie in court like that blatantly. Like, you cannot make stuff up in court because you don't want to accept responsibility for your actions. Like, give your head a shake. So anyways, that's another court case that I've got going on. I've got lots to talk about. So that one I will talk about later. But yeah, so anyways, with the RCMP, so I got I don't even know if I finished the story, but I got my response finally 3 months after having put the Freedom of Information request. Oh yes, I did. I said, so it wasn't even, they said that it was going to violate somebody else's privacy. I've emailed the person that they told me to email if I had questions 3 times now. No response. Cannot get a hold of anybody on the phone. Cannot get a hold of the civilian review board or whoever that is the whatever, the agency that looks into complaints and stuff for the RCMP. They don't answer phones anymore because of COVID. How can that even be an excuse anymore? So this has been, again, this is another common theme. I'm not going to make this one too much longer because I'm just looking at the time there, but I am probably gonna end this one right away, but I've got so many stories, so much information to, just to share, and hopefully, if you have comments or anyone has any advice, let me know, please, because it has been the most frustrating few years of my life. So incredibly frustrating. Some days I'm so frustrated with the way that our system is and the way that they have it set up to protect and cover up blatantly wrong behavior and sometimes illegal. And this is like, come on, people, like, come on, Canada, like, Canadians, like, do not let this happen. Like, this has gotten to be to the point where we are not going to be able to stop this at some point soon. Like, they are doing whatever they want right now. They are doing whatever they want with no repercussions. They don't have to, like, nobody, even the people who are supposed to be holding them accountable are not. So this needs to change, because it's like, it's going to get bad. It's going to get really bad, because look at like how many police involved. That's another one. The Independent Office of Investigations, Independent Investigations Office. I don't know. Anyways, the one that looks into police related serious harm or whatever, or deaths that were police related, and they used to have all the files or whatever, like, so you could go in and read. They've got them all closed now, and that's not transparency. Nobody has transparency. So you can't even see these cases anymore. But I tell you, go back and you can look on their website. Starting 2016, right around 2016, the number of deaths and the number of serious harm incidents with serious harm, police related, has skyrocketed. Every single place in BC. None of those reports are accessible to the public. They should be. And I tried contacting them as well, and I said, why are these all not accessible to the public? Why can we not see these reports? This transparency is how you build trust, right? Like, when they said, well, some of them are under investigation, not all of them, and they sent me a link that came up with completely different files than what was actually when you won't go and look it up. And so obviously I know that that's not like, if I go look on the internet, go into the cases from that way, I know that's the real one, like, obviously. So it's, everybody's just trying to do this like whole thing with like, just throw some more deception and lies, and see if you can just continue to like spin that web of lies and deception, and like, maybe maybe I'll get stuck in it, and like I won't be able to move then, and like I'll just forget then it won't be a problem, I guess, is what they're thinking. But it's just gonna, like, it's gonna catch them all, right? Like, it's gonna catch them and stick them in that, because like, stories start to fall apart when you consistently use lies and deception, and telling different people different stories because you can't remember what you've been telling. And I've caught so many of them, like, like, I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And then they don't have anything to say, because they can't, they're, a lot of them, and I'm not saying like directly aiming this at anyone in particular, but so they can't say that I'm saying anything bad about them, because I'm not saying names or anything, but it's very cowardly behavior. It's bullying and cowardly behavior, and it's like such a consistent theme, because then you want to ask them to, like, okay, explain this to me, and they're like nowhere to be found. I would go into the police department, the municipal one here, because I was trying to get a freedom of information request there. I'd go in, and all of a sudden everybody's disappeared. It's like I show up, and they're like, well, that's weird, his office door is open, but he's nowhere to be found. I'm like, right. So they're obviously facing the parking lot, saw me coming, I guess, and went and ran and hide. Like, what? Come on. Like, is this really, people are like becoming so like caught up in protecting and defending this wrong behavior that you have to run and hide, because heaven forbid I might ask a question that I deserve to ask and expect an answer, truthful answer, from people who I'm supposed to trust. Come on, like, wake up, like, wake up, people. Like, this is, I can't even handle it anymore. Like, I can't even handle how everybody's just so okay with this. Like, what is going on? What, like, and people are just like, this whole thing with just let them do them, don't worry about it, don't stress about it, don't get so worried, like, let them do them. That right there was setting it up for, like, people getting away with this stuff. So now if I go and I call somebody on something, of course I'm the bad guy, right? Like, if this whole thing was like, verbal abuse is not tolerated. Everybody's got that on their messages now and stuff. Where this is I don't know what they say, like, no verbal abuse and, like, whatever. I had them call ICBC, call the police and do a wellness check on me because they thought I said I have no reason to live anymore. And I didn't even say anything that was even close to that, so they just made it up. So the next thing I know, I've got the police at my door and they want to come in and sit down and talk, and I'm like, oh, like, I've never been suicidal. I would definitely not kill myself because of my license was taken away for 4 months. But, so I'm just like, but they can just get away with this because nobody, like, and I'm determined. I'm every step of the way. I am going to do everything I can to, normally it's not really getting me anywhere, but at least it's possibly inconveniencing people a little bit. And, like, maybe they'll think, like, maybe they won't do this again, or they'll think about it, and, like, they'll think, well, maybe somebody else who has a lawyer might come and do this, and maybe we could end up getting ourselves into trouble. Like, yes, you can. Like, you lying to try and have a negative impact on someone's life through abusing the power and authority you've been given for your position, in a position where you're supposed to be trusted by the public. Come on. This is, like, one of the worst things somebody could do. And people need to start seeing this. And I'm sorry, I'm getting really, really, like, worked up over this because I can't understand how this is not treated more seriously. Like this is, like, a very, very, very wrong thing. Like, I just think, like, lying and being deceptive is one thing. Doing it purposely to cause a negative impact on somebody's life, that just made it, like, tenfold. Like, it just worsened it, like, times 10 or more. And then doing that by means of abusing the power and authority you have in your job has been given to you, again, another times 10. But then your job is to be trusted, and your job is to actually supposed to be helping and protecting the people that you're now trying to destroy their life through lies and manipulation and abusing your power. I think, like, it's sick, and it needs to stop. So that's where, like, I'm going to continue to kind of share my story, and I would love to hear feedback. I'd love to hear, like, if anybody's been through something similar, what you did, if you have any good ideas, anything would be great, because so far I've been doing this on my own, and it gets hard. So, but I'm still doing it. I'm not going to give up, but I just need to keep trying new ways of getting this out there, because if it's just me and I'm just doing this, like, just taking it to court, and, like, and then like, nobody else knows really, then it's, like, so easy for it to just get swept under the rug, right? So I'm trying to bring the awareness out, and I can't find anyone to help me do it, anything really. So, because everybody's scared, I guess. Well, sure, so am I a little bit sometimes, but really though, am I gonna, like, I cannot sit back and be okay with myself not doing anything, because that means that I had a chance to maybe make a change or something, to have somebody else not go through what I went through, and I didn't take it. Because why? Because I was scared, because they were going to come do something. They've tried for 8 years to get me charged, to whatever, like, to ruin my life. And it hasn't happened yet. So maybe they'll try harder. I don't know. I mean, it would be stupid now, because now it's in the courts. So it would be really stupid. I would like to think that they're not that stupid, but I mean, if they were, then that the karma will take care of that. Like sure, I don't want to think like that's something's gonna happen to me, but I can't not do it because of that fear, because then I'm just being like everybody else, and I'm being a bitch. Like I'm not gonna just be bullied and made to be quiet because somebody wants to intimidate me and harass me and make me feel scared so that they can control me. I don't operate that way. So that's where it's at. So that's, I don't have a choice in this. Like I wouldn't be okay with myself not doing something, not doing everything in my power. So yeah, I'm gonna stop at that because it's really getting long. So yeah, feedback, comments, anything. Feel free to give me suggestions of what to do, or if you've been through something similar, just anything would be great. And I will talk to you next time.